Whatever rocks your socks, whatever spins your top, whatever winds your watch, whatever flips your flop, whatever turns you on, whatever flies your flag, whatever bangs your gong, or whatever swings your bag. Do it often, but do it well, 'cause nobody knows and there's no way to tell when the ride ends.
Normally, I walk this beach alone, and it's silent, except for the waves and the insects, but you tune those out pretty quickly. So I walk along, and I enjoy the light and the trash and the silence. But I've always got this inner monologue going. I think almost everybody lives in an inner monologue. Thought is language. And we all have this constant voice in our heads, hopefully our own, and we're constantly telling ourselves stories. Usually stories from our past, sometimes dreams about our future. Sometimes, if you're a thirsty narcissist like me, you tell yourself what you should have said to that guy you argued with in the comment section last night. Somebody hiding behind an avatar in the name Eugene Booth called me a boomer yesterday. And I have no argument with that. I am a boomer. More Americans were born in 1957 than any other year in our nation's history. So I'm the peak of the boomer generation. But the way this kid used it was as an insult. He had 12 hours to think of something to say, and that's what he came up with. Okay, boomer. So yeah, I'm older than you, kid. And yeah, if you get to use boomer as an insult, I get to use kid as an insult. Them's the rules, kid. So yeah, I'm older than you. You know what that means? It means I've screwed more women than you have. Lots more. It means that I've eaten more good meals, drunk more and better wine, sung more songs, read more books, seen more plays and movies, slow danced at more weddings, cried at more funerals, had more achievements than you, and more failures than you, and I've learned from every failure. So yeah, I know more than you do, kid. And now here I am at 65 on my own private beach. I have spent every single minute of the past 15 months doing exactly what I want to do. And I am secure in the knowledge that I will do exactly what I want to do every single minute of the rest of my life. Can you say the same, kid? What's your life like, Eugene Booth? Got a boss who tells you what to do? A spouse, parents, kids? They all tell you what to do, don't they? When was the last time you spent 15 months doing only what you wanted to do? Kid, I wouldn't trade lives with you for $1 million. I'm in a place right now where nobody can hurt me, so I'll never be afraid of anybody ever again. And nobody can help me, so I will never be beholden to anybody ever again. I'm as free as a man can be, excepting for the rigid social codes in Thailand and the immigration department. Do you want to feel free, kid? You want to feel in control? Create something. Don't waste your time trolling me in the comment section. Make a video trolling me and post it for the public. Paint a picture, write a book, compose a symphony or a Sudoku. Take a risk, kid. Express yourself. Whatever's eating at you and making you lash out at perfect strangers on the web needs to be expressed. Show us a little bit of your life, your achievements, your aspirations, your failures. Be honest. So when you throw shade at people on the internet, we'll know you're more than just a coward with a keyboard.
Listen, let me tell you a story. In 1979, I was house sitting and cat sitting for my friends Joe and Gay Haldeman. Joe is a very successful science fiction novelist, and in those days you sold your books by going all summer long to convention after convention, going abroad to do book signings and promotions and interviews and stuff. So they needed somebody to sit their house, and their cat, Petey, was the cat. Petey did not like me, but we shared that house for 2 summers, me and Petey, and about 10 gajillion books. Joe had the biggest personal library of anybody I ever knew up to that point, and I would spend the summers just laying on the sofa reading and smoking pot. Pot was for sale everywhere on the beach. This was in Ormond Beach, Florida, if I didn't mention that, just north of Daytona. And like any beach community, there was pot for sale on the beach. So I spent the summers riding my bicycle up and down the beach, smoking pot and reading books. And one day, I was 22, I think, 21, 22 this summer. And I got a wild hair up my ass. Joe had left me the keys to his van, and I'd never driven it. It'd been in the driveway for weeks, and I just never needed to go anywhere. So I took the van. I said, you know, I've been listening to Jimmy Buffett. I said, I want to see Key West. There's this bar where Hemingway hung out in Key West. I want to go have a beer there. And I don't normally drink alcohol, but you know, for special occasions, visiting Hemingway's favorite bar, I would drink a beer. So I got in the van with no forethought, no planning, high as a kite, like always. I started driving south on A1A because the map said A1A ends at Key West. So I'm driving south. I get to Key West real late at night. Drove all day long. I had an empty gas tank and $10 in my pocket. 2 $5 bills. And nowhere to sleep. Nowhere to go. Didn't know anybody in Key West. But by God, I was going to go to that bar. And I forget the name of the bar now. But it's famous because Hemingway used to drink there. So, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I was trying to write like Hemingway that summer. And so I go to the bar, and I'm sitting there, and it's just a touristy bar, just like the same decor on the walls that you would see in a seafood restaurant in America, any chain seafood restaurant. Arthur Treacher's is one. That's the only one I can think of, but you know what I'm saying, like life buoys on the walls and old fishing tackle and stuff. And it was just a generic kind of beach bar, and I was very disappointed. This old man comes in the bar, and the old man is dressed like he just came from a central casting call for Aged Seafarer. He's got the, that's a real nice one. I'm making Boontong signs out of these. Boontong souvenirs. At any rate, so he comes in the bar, this old man. He's got the Greek fisherman's cap. He's got stars tattooed on his earlobes. He's got swallows tattooed on his neck. He's an old seafaring man, right? And he looks around the room. He spots me, and he makes a beeline straight to me. 22 years old, from Iowa. I must have had the word gullible written across my forehead. He comes over to me and he says, "Listen, son, I'm 76 years old. I've been around the world 12 times, been married 6 times, been in prison 4 times. I know shit. Now, right now, I really need a beer, son. I need a beer bad. If you'll buy me a beer, I will tell you the secret to a happy, successful life." Now, if this had happened today,
I would have said, why is a guy who knows the secret to a happy, successful life cadging free beers in a tourist bar? Why isn't he on a yacht? But I was 22, I was from Iowa, I didn't know any better. I said, yeah, all right, I got $5 left, one beer. And I paid for his beer. Ooh. And the old guy, he's standing at the bar and the beer comes, and they're the big frosty schooners, like 10 ounces, I guess. And, you know, rhymed with ice, the glasses, and big cold beer. And that old man tips his head back like a baby bird, and he dumps that whole beer down his throat without swallowing. Just opens his throat like a sword swallower. Whoop, down it goes. And he puts the empty glass on the bar. He gives a big belch. And he says to me, son, here's the secret to a happy, successful life. Never forget, there's more ways to fuck a cat than stuffing it in a boot. And he tips his hat politely and he turns around and he walks out of the bar. And I was still penniless, still homeless, still had no idea where to go or what to do, but I had the secret to a happy and successful life. And I have never forgotten his words. Never. I have never tested them. But I'm going to assume that he was correct. That's my time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying all the way through. Like, subscribe, share, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. PayPal in the description. Buy me a cup of coffee if you live outside of Thailand. Next week's a Boontongs video, a story by Steve Rosse this time. And just know that I love you. And I hope you have a terrific week. I can promise you, I will. See ya.
Whatever shaves your sheep, whatever bakes your lamb, whatever digs your peat, whatever smokes your ham, whatever blows your nose, whatever chews your bone, whatever squirts your hose, whatever sings your song. Do it often, but do it well. Nobody knows and there's no way to tell. When you're riding, shoot down to that